Okay, today we're going to be doing decimal by decimal. And this is the Common Core area method. I know the other day I said that we're going to do the rectangle area model method, and I kind of combine them together. This is probably my least favorite way of doing it. I will go ahead and tell you, a lot of your parents probably won't understand this way or like this way, because it is very bizarre way of finding out the answer, but it does work. So I want to go ahead and we're going to put a rectangle. We're going to get kind of the basics first. Okay, so this is going to be very general, but if you have a whole number, and then you have a tenth, and then you have a whole number, and then you have a tenth. This is kind of a clue of what you're going to get. If you multiply, we're going to talk about hypothetically. Hypothetically, if you multiply a whole number by a whole number, you're going to get a whole number. If you multiply a whole number by a tenth, your answer is going to be in a tenth. And that's because we're going to be using one decimal place. So one decimal place equals a tenth. Same thing for here, whole times tenth equals tenth, so this is going to be a tenth too. And then a tenth times a tenth is going to get you a hundredth. Okay, so it's going to get you a hundredths /s. Okay, so if you think, oh, if I multiply 10 times 10, I get 100. That's right. That's why it's hundredths, because we have one decimal place here and one decimal place here. So to combine that means you're going to move your decimal twice, which gets you hundredths. Okay, so that's just kind of a clue of what is going to help you with in the future. So say, for example, I'm going to do my problem on a piece of blank notebook or a blank sheet of paper. The reason I'm doing it on blank paper is so you can really see the lines. After I'm done, we're going to cut it out and I'm going to glue it into my notebook. So this is just so you can easily see all my lines and what's happening. So let's say 3.4 times 2.7. Did we do that problem already today? No, we did not. So that's what we're going to be doing. The first thing we're going to do is we need to draw our rectangle. And I need to break it up. I have 4 spots because I have 4 digits that aren't 0. I'm going to put 3 here, 4 tenths here, 2, and 7 tenths. Okay? So this is where it gets a little bit complicated. Now, a lot of you guys are saying, I don't understand how to do this when on the EOG we only get a highlighter and a pencil. So on the EOG, maybe this isn't the best method for you. But you need to know how to read it, because it's very possible for them to give you a question on the EOG of the figure, and then you have to figure out what they're actually asking. So here's this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get green. Got a green pen. And what I'm going to do is solely focus on my 3 for a second. I need to break this box into 3. I'm ignoring that line right there in the middle. So I'm going to go all the way down. all the way down. Now I'm going to focus on the 4. Well, the value of that 4 is a tenth. It's 4/10. So what I need to do is I need to break this into tenths. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line, and that's going to be my halfway mark. And I'm going to make 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I broke it into 10 because we're in tenths. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to color 4/10 in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And look, I'm going all the way down. So that's 4/10. I colored in only 4 because I needed 4 out of 10. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on this, the horizontal part. So I'm going to break up the 2 section into 2. Going all the way over. Okay. Now, because this is a 7/10, I need to break this up into 7, or I need to break it up into tenths. So there's my halfway mark. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if you're not very neat, this is probably not the best method for you. You have to be very focused, and you can't just draw lines. Every line has a purpose or a value. So now I need to draw in 7, or color in 7/10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I'm going to flip my paper over just so I can make sure it's neat and you can read it better. And I'm going all the way over. I don't just stop halfway. I gotta go all the way over. Okay, so now I'm all done coloring, or whatever you want to call it. So I know if I look at my key, a whole number times a whole number is going to equal a whole number. So each box represents a whole number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this here represents 6 wholes. When I'm doing a whole number times a tenth, I know each box is going to equal a tenth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because I have 8 boxes colored in, I know I have 8/10. Here, when I have a whole number times a tenth, I know I'm going to be getting a tenth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. If I have 21/10, if I have 21 dimes, how could I make that easier? Because I can't write 0.21. I would make $2.10. Then last, if a tenth times a tenth, that's going to equal 100th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I'm counting the section that overlaps. So I have 28 pennies. Excuse me, I almost said dimes. Because I know a tenth times a tenth equals 100th. Okay? So I'm going to add it all up. 8. 8 plus 2 equals 10, plus 1 equals 11. Decimal, carry my 1. 6 plus 2 equals 8, plus 1 equals 9. Okay? So, I understand this is a very, very, very bizarre way to be doing this. But it is a method that does work. Now, I want to show you, and I can do it on here. If I do here, break it up, 3.42 and 7/10. 3 times 2 equals 6. 0.4 times 2 equals 8. 2 times 4 equals 8, but I have one placeholder. I'm going to box it so I don't get it mixed up. 3 times 0.7 equals 3 times 7 equals 21. 1 decimal place. And then 7/10 times 4/10. Well, 7 times 4 equals 28. 1, 2. So now I'm going to add it up. And if we look, sorry, I'm running out of space. If we look, it looks just the same. So both of them work. One is more visual than the other. You can choose what way works best for you, but please know that you will be expected on the EOG. They might cover these numbers up, and they might say, what does this problem represent? And you're going to have to know what these lines represent. But if they give you this to fill in, and they give you that, and you say, hey, the standard way works best for me, then you can do the standard way. I've shown you 2 methods so far. These I consider 2 different things. So on the test, if you do this method and this method, that's a way of checking it. Remember, you can do coins, you can do base 10, but for decimal by decimal, I would say this here, this method, and the standard method are probably the best for decimal by decimal. So here I have a question for all the people who are listening. If you are listening, then please bring in a piece, or let's see, bring in either Skittles, Starburst, gum, or I don't know what the last one should be. And I'm sure you're yelling at the computer screen right now telling me one more, but I can't hear. We'll say Starburst, gum. Ooh, Butterfingers are a good one. Ooh, gummy bears are also pretty solid. If you got any of those, bring them to school tomorrow, and I know you're listening, and I might let you eat it in class, but only 1 piece per person, or it might be for me. You never know.